Welcome back to Top 5. In the heart of a bustling city, where dreams of strength and power thrived, there was a gym known as Titan's Forge. It was a sanctuary for bodybuilders, a place where men and women sculpted their bodies into living sculptures. Among them was Derek, a colossal figure whose physique was the envy of all. His muscles rippled like steel cables, and his presence commanded attention. But beneath his impressive exterior lay a darkness that few could see, a desperate hunger fueled by steroids and a toxic obsession with perfection. Derek was a dedicated bodybuilder, but his relentless pursuit of greatness led him down a perilous path. As he pushed his body to the limits, he turned to ever more potent steroids, convinced that they would unlock his true potential. With each injection, he felt an exhilarating rush, a false sense of invincibility that drowned out the whispers of caution in his mind. But as the months passed, the toll of his addiction began to manifest, warping his psyche and twisting his once friendly demeanor into something monstrous. The first sign of his descent into madness came one night during a late-night workout. The gym was empty, save for the faint hum of fluorescent lights. Derek, fueled by a cocktail of steroids and rage, felt the world closing in around him. In the mirror, he saw not just a bodybuilder, but a god, a titan who could crush anything in his path. But as the reflection stared back, he became consumed by an overwhelming urge to unleash his fury. In a fit of rage, he smashed a weight onto the ground, shattering the silence and the last remnants of his sanity. Days turned into weeks, and Derek's behavior grew increasingly erratic. He began to see enemies everywhere, perceived slights turned into fuel for his rage. Friends who once admired him now feared him, whispering about the man who had lost control. But Derek was blind to their concerns, his muscles had become his prison, and the steroids coursing through his veins twisted his mind into a vortex of anger and paranoia. One fateful night, as thunder rumbled in the distance, Derek snapped. He stormed out of the gym, his heart pounding with adrenaline and fury. The streets became his playground, but instead of lifting weights, he sought out those he believed had wronged him. His first victim was a local thief who had stolen weights from the gym. Derek found him lurking in an alley, and with a primal roar, he unleashed a torrent of violence, crushing bones and breaking wills. The thrill of power surged through him, and he felt alive in a way he never had before. Encouraged by the rush, Derek spiraled into a killing spree, targeting anyone he deemed weak or unworthy. The city became a canvas for his madness, painted in blood and chaos. He smashed storefronts, looted gyms, and terrorized the neighborhoods, all while the police scrambled to contain the horror that had erupted. News reports flashed across screens, detailing the rampage of a hulking beast with muscles that seemed to pulse with rage. As Derek's notoriety grew, so did his madness. He reveled in the attention, his name becoming synonymous with fear. He began to document his rampage, posting videos online, showcasing his strength and brutality. The world watched in shock as the monster he had become eclipsed the man he once was, a bodybuilder turned serial killer, fueled by a cocktail of steroids and rage. But the night of reckoning was approaching. As Derek prowled the streets, he felt invincible, but a darkness loomed. The police had finally caught wind of his rampage and were closing in. Cornered in an abandoned warehouse, surrounded by flickering shadows, Derek stood alone, his muscles glistening under the dim light. He felt the thrill of battle course through him, ready to fight the world that had dared to challenge him. As sirens wailed in the distance, Derek charged at the approaching officers with a primal scream. The confrontation was brutal, metal clashed against flesh, and the air was thick with chaos. But in the end, the strength he had relied on failed him. The police, trained and resolute, overwhelmed him with sheer numbers. Derek fought valiantly, but the beast within was finally subdued. As he lay on the ground, handcuffed and broken, the darkness that had consumed him flickered for a moment. In those final seconds, he saw the faces of those he had hurt, the lives he had shattered. The beast that had once filled him with strength was now a prison of regret. The news spread like wildfire. The bodybuilder who had terrorized the city was captured, but the scars of his rampage would haunt the streets forever. Titan's Forge, once a symbol of strength and community, became a ghostly reminder of what had transpired. And as for Derek, he faded into infamy, a cautionary tale of a man who sought power but lost his humanity, a bodybuilder who became a monster, and a chilling reminder that sometimes, the greatest battles are fought within oneself. Months passed, and the city slowly began to heal from the scars left by Derek's rampage. The gym was closed, its doors boarded up, and the once vibrant community of bodybuilders scattered, haunted by the memories of their fallen comrade. But whispers of Derek's legacy lingered in the air, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of ambition. In a dimly lit cell, Derek sat alone, his once mighty frame reduced to a shadow of its former self. The steroids that had once fueled his strength were now replaced by the cold reality of confinement. He spent his days reflecting on the chaos he had wrought, the lives he had taken, and the monster he had become. The mirror in his cell showed him not a titan, but a broken man, a man who had sacrificed everything for a fleeting moment of power. As he stared into the reflection, he felt the weight of his choices pressing down on him. The hunger for strength had consumed him.